Have you left it too late to start looking at FinOps if you're an ITAM professional? Are too many people already looking at it? Has FinOps got too big and too mature? Have you been left behind? Well, today we're going to answer that question because it seems to be coming into my LinkedIn mailboxes quite a lot at the moment. Is have I missed the FinOps train? Am I too late, or can I still get involved and start learning about it? Before we answer that question, please make sure you check down there that you have liked and subscribed so that you don't miss out on any future content here at the Sam Beast YouTube channel. And today we are going to look at exactly that. Are you too late if you're in the ITAM world to start looking into FinOps? Have you missed the boat? Or is it actually the ideal time to start learning and investing some of your time into understanding what FinOps is and how you can help your clients and your organization with it? Some of the messages that I've had from people all around the world, not just in the UK, the US, South Africa, New Zealand and the Middle East about this has been more around, have I missed that initial wave on the FinOps and ITAM relationship, or FinOps in general? Has it become too established? Have I missed the boat? Am I now going to be playing catch up? And one person in fact used the word, has my skill set become irrelevant because I didn't jump on FinOps like I should have? Now, the answer to that is absolutely not. You have not missed the boat. FinOps is still evolving. It's still maturing. It's still something that is quite new and fresh, especially from an ITAM perspective. And let's face it, if you're already doing IT asset management, you're doing a lot of the same principles that FinOps do as well in terms of optimization and cost savings. FinOps is all about that financial accountability for your cloud spend. Sound reasonably familiar? Think about that with hardware and software assets. Yep, see, we're getting somewhere. I mean, we've done so many videos on this about how ITAM and FinOps are just joining together and how one can help the other and they complement each other, and that the world is just going to keep evolving. These two disciplines are going to keep coming together. So yeah, you've absolutely not missed the boat. But yeah, FinOps is all about financial cloud management and optimization, which is very similar to what ITAM looks at from a hardware and software perspective. It also looks at all of the visibility, the optimization, the ownership, and that continuous service improvement around the cloud infrastructure for an organization. Again, where does that sound familiar? Like we do with hardware and software within the ITAM space, like we're doing with SaaS applications as well. It's just adding on a different environment and different area to what we're already doing. So if you've already gone through that process on managing hardware and software in this way, you've got the core understanding of what FinOps is. It's just a different environment, and it's not to do with physical assets or software licenses or software contracts. You already understand the core principles. Therefore, FinOps shouldn't be that scary for you. So if you're still not convinced and feeling that you have missed the wave and you have missed the boat, let me try and convince you otherwise, right? So you're an ITAM professional. Like we've said, there's a lot of synergies with this already, but let's use actual examples on what you do in ITAM and almost like a FinOps equivalent, if you like. So first of all, we manage physical hardware assets lifecycle, but also software life cycles as well. There's a similar process and similar function that you do within FinOps around cloud resource lifecycle management. So again, it's looking at how those cloud instances, those cloud environments are used, what the life cycle of that would be, whether it's for a specific project that has start, middle and end dates, when that instance needs to be switched off and the money needs to be stopped being paid for it, essentially when that instance needs to be retired and you move on to other things. Very similar to like what we're doing with physical hardware assets and when we're looking at end of support and stuff like that for software and operating systems. So we've got the asset lifecycle, and then the equivalent in the FinOps space would be the cloud resource lifecycle management. Very similar concepts, something that you can have a look at and start adding value on before even having to do any FinOps courses. Next up, we track the ownership of our physical assets, and also we have things like software champions or contract managers and stuff like that that help ITAM manage particular software vendors, software contracts, licensing models, how people actually use software within your particular organization. And exactly the same for the hardware. We've got the assigned users, we've got asset type owners as well. In FinOps, you still need that ownership, you still need that accountability, you still need that assigned team or person that you can go to ask about a particular cloud instance or resource. So then the comparison for that in the FinOps world will be about the cost allocation and the tagging, not in the same sense that we tag our physical assets, but you can also do tagging in the cloud. And we did a whole video talking about this with Rory Canavan. So please go back and have a look on the YouTube channel for that, because we dug into why tagging in the cloud is so important for that life cycle, for that cloud optimization, for that accountability and the ownership. So we've got the ownership and the user management in that side of things, and we've also got the tagging and the cost management and the cost allocation in the FinOps space. Again, two synergies working together. You don't need to know loads about FinOps to start adding value in this space. But I'm still going to give you some more if you're not convinced. In ITAM, we look at usage. We are constantly looking at hardware usage, users with multiple devices of the same type, software usage. If you've not used an application for 30, 60 or 90 days, if you've not used a piece of hardware for 30, 60 and 90 days, hopefully you can see where I'm going with this. It's the same in the FinOps space. Are the instances being used? When are they being used? When are they scaling up? When are they scaling down? When are they not being utilized at all? Can we perhaps switch it off during certain hours? Can we perhaps switch it off overnight when it's not being used? We look at usage in the software and the hardware space. FinOps does exactly the same in the cloud space. Same mantra, same methodologies about looking to optimize, reduce spend, reduce wastage, reduce technical debt. So the skills that you're currently doing in ITAM around software usage and hardware usage, you can replicate in that cloud space. We also look at making sure that users have the right level of software, aka like a pro or a standard or an ultimate edition. We're also looking to make sure they've got the right license type, and also making sure we're not giving them an over-spec'd laptop that they're never going to utilize because it costs a lot of money and they just need a smaller one with less RAM, less hard drive space, etc., etc. It's the same in the cloud. It's the same for FinOps. They're also looking at right sizing, making sure they've not over-spec'd an environment, making sure that it meets the requirements for the service that it needs to provide. It's not too powerful. It's not under powerful as well. Under powerful, was that a word? It's not, we'll go with it. We'll go with under powerful. It's not under powerful and not meeting the requirements that it needs. Again, it's finding that balance of what kind of scope, what kind of resources do you need? Very much like we do with hardware and software. I really hope you're starting to see that you haven't missed the boat. There's so much value that you can add already in FinOps without really knowing it, based on what you're doing in the ITAM space. We've also got the procurement element of it, where ITAM's helping out with hardware budgeting and software budgeting. We can support FinOps teams in doing the same for that as well. And of course, everything at the moment is about cost control, cost management and optimization. Budgets are going down, costs are going up. ITAM people are having to get more creative in how they're going to meet their budget requirements while supporting the hardware infrastructure, the software infrastructure. And we can also help support with FinOps and the cloud spend and the cloud infrastructure. ITAM already knows and has those skills from the hardware and software side of things that, again, we can translate and adapt into FinOps and into the cloud environment. So much you're already doing, you can do to support FinOps or even build your own FinOps practice within your organization. So why is it not too late then? Well, FinOps is still maturing, it's still developing. A lot of organizations don't currently have dedicated FinOps teams. And I know a lot of ITAM professionals are being asked, can you build something FinOps related within our organization, because they can see that correlation between the hardware and the software asset management and how you can use those skills in the FinOps space. There's so much interchangeable stuff. We say that all the time, but it's because it's true. FinOps doesn't have to be this big scary discipline that you panic over when you're asked to do something, because you're already doing a lot of the skills in there. A lot of organizations, yeah, like I said, don't have dedicated FinOps teams or people. It's very chaotic, it's reactive. There might even be a lot of low-hanging fruit that you can target, looking at consumption and resourcing, upscaling, downscaling, right-sizing, etc. Tagging, there's things that you can implement that are pretty, basic functions that will bring a lot of value and potentially a lot of cost savings and financial value as well to the organization. For a lot of organizations, cloud spend is still wildly out of control. There's a lot of shadow IT. Remember, FinOps isn't about stopping developers from creating instances. It's about managing it. Whereas we in ITAM have the reverse of that, right? We want business justifications before we approve anything. We want so many things in place before we then physically deploy a new laptop or physically install software. Whereas we don't want to delay projects, we don't want developers not to be able to spin something up and test something, but then we need to be able to manage it and make sure it's shut down when the time comes. We need to make sure it's tagged, that we've got all of the ownership, that we're managing the spend, etc. A lot of organizations aren't doing this, which is why you may be looking at this video to try and understand how ITAM and FinOps can work together, because you're an ITAM professional that's been given the challenge of managing your cloud estate. The FinOps Foundation, the Linux Foundation are doing an amazing job of a lot of education, awareness, promoting the benefits of FinOps, and even more so recently, which is amazing to see, promoting the benefits of ITAM and FinOps working together, and how we can work together, and how ITAM can grow into that FinOps space, and how FinOps can grow into the ITAM space as well. And it's because it's still so chaotic out there. A lot of organizations are not managing their cloud spend. So hopefully so far I've convinced you that you are not late on joining in the FinOps wave. But you may now be questioning, what can you do to learn more about FinOps? We've already mentioned a couple of resources, but first of all, have a look at the FinOps Foundation. There is so much useful, amazing content on there that will help you understand the basics of FinOps. And there's a lot of research and papers and stuff about the relationship between FinOps and ITAM as well. And I know I saw recently that the FinOps Foundation have released even more guidance on that FinOps and ITAM relationship too, which as an ITAM professional will speak volumes and will really hit a chord with you and help you understand that relationship and what you can do to help in the FinOps space. Shout out to Rich Gibbons, by the way, because I saw his name listed in there. Friend of the channel, he's been on a number of times, and I saw when the FinOps Foundation put their shout outs too on all the people that have helped with the ITAM stuff. Rich was in there, so of course we've got to give Rich a shout out for supporting the ITAM game in the FinOps space. So top work, thank you, Rich. There's courses on the FinOps Foundation as well that you can do. Some really, really good ones that really ease you into FinOps. Then you can look at the focus analyst. You can look at all the different levels of practitioner and work your way up on the FinOps courses. They are really good. They're based on like real life events. They give you actual real life advice and information rather than all the theoretical stuff, which I hate in training courses when it's like, well, that's an ideal environment. That's not what it's like in the real world. The FinOps Foundation courses are brilliant in terms of having real world scenarios of a mess and how FinOps and how Focus can also help fix that mess, and also the relationships between FinOps and other disciplines like ITAM, procurement, finance, security, legal, etc. They're really good courses. And just have a look online, do a lot of research about FinOps. There's so much good content on there that's free, that you can digest, that you can take in, you can read in your own time. Have a look, if a particular challenge comes up, Google it. There's so much out there. Have a look on LinkedIn as well. There's so many amazing articles, infographics. There's loads of really good content about FinOps on LinkedIn as well. So make sure you follow the FinOps Foundation on LinkedIn as well. This isn't sponsored, by the way. I keep mentioning the FinOps Foundation. It's not sponsored. I'm just a really big fan of all of the work that they do. And I totally buy into the relationship between ITAM and FinOps, and have seen it and done it firsthand myself, and seen what the benefits are, the cost savings, the management, the lifecycle management, the optimization, the visibility, the transparency. And I didn't really know about FinOps. I was just using what I did in ITAM in terms of software and hardware optimization and lifecycle management, and I went, oh, hold on, I can do that in the cloud. Baby steps. Okay, this isn't being used. Let's reclaim it. Oh, that looks like that's way over spec. Let's bring that down and save a bit of money doing it that way. And it just evolved in that way. It's all free content. Absorb it, read it. And if you've got any questions, these people are wonderful people. Just drop them a message if you've got any questions or want to know more about it. But yeah, really hope you found this useful. You're absolutely not too late for the FinOps wave. Get on board, join this FinOps revolution and that ITAM relationship, because it's only going to get closer. It's only going to evolve and mature. But now is a fantastic time to get on board, especially with everything that's going on around the world. Budgets are going down, costs are going up. There are social factors that have an impact on all of this as well. So now's the time. Get involved, get on that FinOps train, and hopefully you can see and develop a love for it like you have with ITAM as well. So yeah, before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you next week here at the Sam Beast YouTube channel. And as always, happy ITAMing